Hi there, thank you for joining me as I continue my search for a single copy of each of the skill books scattered throughout Skyrim. In this video I'm going to be focusing on the 5 skill books of the speech skill tree. I will leave a list of the books and their timings in the description so people can just jump to the chapters that interest them the most. As usual with these guides, I'm going to be obtaining the copies that do not require theft. I'm collecting these books to store in a library, so I don't want to have to go through the trouble of having to remove stolen tags. Now, generally when I'm making these guides, I try to avoid large dungeons and quest venues, as I want to collect the books that are going to be most easily accessible to the majority of players. But with the first book in this list, which is the buying game, I've been left with no alternative but to start my video at Dead Men's Respite, which is there in relation to Morthal. And some of you will recall that this is the venue for the quest Tending the Flames that is given by the Bard's College in Solitude. Now, this is the only option to collect a legit copy of this book for most people. There are other copies around, but you would have to resort to stealing. So, for the people who don't mind stealing or simply wish to read the book to obtain the skill boost, the best bet is probably to travel to the Shrine of Periite. There we have Cairth Western and Dragontooth Crater. There is a copy there that you can read quite easily. There is also a copy inside the Bard's College in Solitude. It's amongst a lot of other books on the bookcase in the room on the right as you go up the stairs. But for us more honest folk who wish to acquire this legitimately without theft, we have to travel a part way through this dungeon, unfortunately. So I'll just clear out the Draugr in this entrance hall. We don't have to travel too far into the dungeon, but it can be a little bit tricky because we'll need to backtrack to get back out again. I have no intention of completing the entire quest at the moment, so I'm just going to grab the book and get straight back out again. I will go to the map 2 or 3 times while we're in here just to make it clear exactly where we are. This can get a little bit tricky with the pull chains and having to unlock the doors again as we leave the area. So that is the location of the first pull chain. We're going to need to deal with a couple of spiders. And then pull this second chain back to the map. And the buying game is actually right in front of us from this point. Just careful not to trigger the battering ram, but it hit me anyway. Not to worry, the traps in Skyrim don't usually cause too much damage. And there we have our copy of the buying game. Back to the map again for you. We're as far east as you can get in this part of the dungeon. So now we need to backtrack, get out of here, then get on with the rest of the video, which should be quite a bit more straightforward. So we're back at this pull chain again, which is here. Right, so I hope people have been able to follow along with that okay. It can get messy if you pull any more of the chains by mistake. You can end up walking around in circles. But hopefully people have managed to keep up with that. And as I said, the rest of the books should be quite a bit more straightforward. The second book on the list is A Dance in Fire, Volume 6. And for this one, the best location is Miko's shack, which is not too far from Solitude Sawmill. If you get to the sawmill, Miko's shack will appear on your compass if you've not discovered it yet, so it's quite easy to locate. And there is a copy of A Dance in Fire Volume 6 right on top of that barrel, and as you can see, it's fine for us to take that. Miko no longer needs it. Next book on the list is Biography of the Wolf Queen, and I'm choosing to collect this one from Liar's Retreat. There is Carth Weston. There is a Reach Stormcloak camp. For people, again, who don't mind stealing or who simply wish to read the book, you can obtain a copy of Biography of the Wolf Queen much easier by visiting Bellathor's General Goods in Whiterun. There's one on the bookcase just to the side of his shop counter. If you've not been to this location yet, you're likely to find a group of Falmer in conflict with a group of bandits. So obviously you can decide if you want to sneak past them all or join in the fray. But which is what I did earlier. I cleared them all out. And what we need to do is head into this end room. I'll go to the map, show you where we are. And on top of this shelf is a copy of the book we are after. Book number 4. We are headed to Riften. And we don't need to hang about in Riften for very long at all. We simply need to head down into Beggar's Row. We We seem to be hitting a lot of night time in this video. I'm sorry about that. And there is a copy of A Dancing Fire, Volume 7, right here. What are the chances we're going to get night time again at our final venue? So we are now headed towards Guka's Monument, which is away west of Whiterun. There is Guka's Monument, and not too far from this location we can grab a copy of 2920 Second Seed Volume 5. There's a shrine to Zenithar just to the east, on which should be sat a copy of the book we are after. You can also obtain a copy of this. I'm going to wind the time forward for this one. Yeah, you can also obtain a copy of this from Sadri's Used Wares in Windhelm. It will be classed as stealing if you take it, but if you simply wish to read a copy, he has one behind his counter. So this is one of the more straightforward outdoor locations. To get to, so you can see this already, the shrine is located in this small ruin. And here is our book, 2920 Second Seed Volume 5. So that's all 5 of them. I hope the video has been useful, and I know it's been a little bit tricky to follow along with in some places, but I hope not too difficult. There you see all 5 speech skill books, no stolen tags, all set to go on my bookcases. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.